if you say that in this term, not one pro-people bill has passed, according to what you've said,
yes,
but that we have had government forwarded bills that have actually gone through, or rather that they have not failed, do you feel then that Parliament is helpless? Because the fundamental role is to represent the people's interests.
Yes.
In all that you do, whether you're making the budget, whether you're making the law, whether you're oversighting, the fundamental agenda is to protect the people.
The people.
Now, if that is not happening, there's a reason why it's not happening. And what's to say that that reason will not show its ugly head again when another person is given an opportunity?
I think now Kenyans are woke. And I would like to say that very confidently.
Okay.
I'm looking at the youths of this country. And has Parliament let down Kenyans? Sadly.
Monumentally.
Yes, even me. And I take collective responsibility because it's a house and it's about the vote. As a house, yes, we have let down the Kenyan people. That one I will say in broad daylight, and I will repeat. We've really not done enough to help the common mwananchi, right? Are we expecting a radical shift? If the young people whom I believe and trust will wake up and go and vote, not just for the presidency. And I would like to tell the young people that don't focus just on the presidency. Do not go voting a political party. Yeah. That is where we've gotten it wrong. That we go, do you know there are some county assemblies that do not have an opposition side or minority side? That you go somewhere, you find from top to bottom, it's a party. At that point, you compromise the element of checks and balances. I would like to ask the young people, wake up and go and vote. First of all, register to vote if you've not.
Okay.
Because if you're not voting, and if you're not registering to vote, you're actually part of the problem. Yeah. Let us go there, vote for individuals. If it is Clive, listen to him, see if it's someone you can trust, and vote for Clive.
Okay.
The day we'll have a house where you have a president who does not have a majority in the house, the country will start working. Because everything will require bipartisan approach. That is what America does. Yeah. You find Americans will never give any president super majority in any of the houses. Either they will give you are the president. Look at Barack. Yeah. Barack really used to suffer. He could only have a majority maybe of one in Congress and a minority in Senate. Right? At that point, everything that has to do with mwananchi, you must go and sit and get a bipartisan approach. But the moment we wake up and one party rides into office as the president, and 140 or 180 members of parliament. Remember, in Kenya, parties are not ideologies. Actually, parties are buses owned by individuals. There is no way you will disagree me in my bus. So
with the majority of 180, for example, they've been given marching orders in terms of what they must do. It doesn't seem as though, or is it the case, whereby you can almost expect that somebody who makes a part of the majority then has already received their orders, and then whether it sounds ridiculous or whether it sounds like it makes sense, they're going to pass a particular thing if they're on that side. Is that's what it looks like to us? Is that what actually happens?
You've heard the line, drawing the party. It is the party position. Yeah. I think you've heard of that.
Yes.
Party position. That's actually what it means, what you've put in so many words. Party position. But remember, I've told you, the party is owned. It has its own. So once he said something, that becomes the party position. This shenanigans you hear, that it is neck, that is that. Where did you hear those necks? Yeah. You just hear it was a party position. The owner of the party calls his leader representative in the house and says this is a party position. That's why I've told you there is that,
Yes, the sign.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And these are things, it is always aired. If you are very keen during those voting and a camera is zoomed around that area, you will notice what I'm saying. So once we stop electing like that, and I'm seeing young people will actually do us that favor, will do us that favor come 2027, whereby they will elect individuals. I think we're starting to have a sensible house, a house that now knows who are, they are responsive to their bosses.
Yeah, I mean, Clive, you speak about individuals who, and I'm sorry to paint it like this, but many out here say, we really hope that individuals who get here would not forget their heads after the election, that they carry their heads and their brains with them, such that when they get to the house, they use their heads to think on what is pro-Monanchi. But let's switch a little bit, because now here we talk about a house that has access to reports that come to you, say, from the Auditor General and all that. In terms of the way Kenyans are being taxed today, and the wastage that is being reported, you've just painted individuals where we see where our taxes go because individuals are working with
hard cash,
with hard cash, right? How big or how bad is the problem? Because you have access to this information because the Auditor General brings it to you. How bad is it, and why can't Parliament say no to that?
The part of Parliament said no. I think we've explained it.
Yes.
How bad is it? I don't think whether bad is the right word. No. It is dangerously bad. Yeah. I don't think using the word bad can really express the gravity of the situation.
When you see a request of an additional billions to, say, State House, 17 billion shillings.
You should ask yourself.
You pass it though, Clive.
Yeah. I've told you now how the house.
Yeah, I get it. You get the sign.
Yeah, and I take part of that responsibility because it is our house, right? It is our house. The situation is bad. Yeah. But you asked how will Kenyans believe that they won't be elected and again be the same? I think we usually say we move a step at a time. Today you have Clive.
Yes.
I have stood my ground all through. Yeah. Look at my voting patterns in that house. I have been consistent, right? It's not only me alone.
Yeah.
There are several members of Parliament. It's just that we are not, when it comes to the vote, it's about the vote. It has to be cast, it has to be counted. You lose, and that's the decision of the House. We carry that decision collectively. But are there people you can draw inspiration from the ones that are there in the House? That we do have those. So if we have more of this, right? I have been in that House, right? I believe, and I stand, and I say what I believe to me matters to the people. So we can draw inspiration. You cannot give up. We can't surrender, because if we surrender, they win. You don't surrender. When we go to the streets, the people are going to the streets. By going out, they're passing a message. Can they be there? No. At the end of the day, they can't be there for, unforeseen, whatever. But are they passing a message? Yes. The question is the listening side listening? And I'm surprised that after 2024, we didn't learn a lesson. I'm really, because I had the arrogance, of the responses coming from that side yesterday. I was cringing because I was like, didn't we learn? These people are crying. They are can't you even be, have some respect in the way you respond to them? Because if you're going to say, no, this is beyond whatever, we are drawing inspiration from the Deputy President William sometime while he was campaigning and telling us how external issues do not affect pricing here. Actually, we're just using his line and we're telling them, no, precedence was set. The way the courts sometimes refer to our ruling somewhere. We are actually doing that. We are just using his words and telling them, hey, Prophet, this is what you said and these were your words. We are not accusing you falsely. No, we are using what you taught us. You are our professor. We learned from you. We are referencing your notes. We wrote this on this day. You said it. So we are just saying it kindly. The Iran war has no business with us. The G2G arrangement.